Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. My name is Adam Rosman. I will be your host today. Today is 24th of April 2024, and I think we can do some short introductions. Robin, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Adam. So I'm Robin, and I have joined Ericsson team that is working with the Metal3. So I'm hoping to contribute here.
Yep, thanks. Okay, and I think we can continue with reminders. So please remember the meeting is recorded. If you would like to help the project, just feel free to check out any issue in the organization under any repo that has a help wanted or a good first issue label or both. And just feel free to assign yourself and start working on it. That would be a great help. If you feel you would like to be part of the official adopters of Metal3, then please feel free to add your organization as a official adopter, and you can do it by editing the adopters.md file in the community repository, and it's in the root of the repository. You just have to add another record here. And then if you have any issues with the CI, you might experienced it recently. There was a lot of CI related problems because of our infrastructure provider, and also there will be most likely a shift from one infrastructure provider to another. We are testing it right now, especially Sunat is testing it right now. And that might cause also some outages and problems. But if you feel you hit any of these issues and you think it's not related to your change, then just create an issue under the repo where you had the issue, and then attach the issue to the Metal3 CI tracker project, and then the CI maintainers will be able to track it more efficiently and help you out and get back to you. If you are interested in the incubation proposal or in our statistics, then feel free to check out the proposal following this link and the Clo Monitor and DevStats pages. And if you are interested about CI and CD related stuff, just feel free to check out Jenkins, Brow, or Quay. And that's all of the reminders. We haven't carried over any previously discussed topics, and I think we can go on to the working groups. And related to Ironic scalability, I have heard that the Fakey part got some reviews, if I heard it correctly.
I hope so. It wasn't me, so I don't really have any updates simply because I'm very, very busy downstream with something here.
Do you know anything about that, Ricardo? It might be I just misunderstood something.
So I saw an update on the Sushi Tools patch today, but I don't have anything more besides that.
Okay, then probably I just heard about the patch, not the review. I just misunderstood that.
Yeah, I mean, there were some reviews in the last weeks, and I think the last update was due to that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. This makes sense, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Julia has reviewed the patch.
Yes.
And left quite a lot of comments. So yeah, there's some progress.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Do we have anyone from release team? I know, yeah, we have Ricardo and no one else. Are we planning any, and Tuomo, are we planning any release in coming weeks? I don't remember.
I think we just released something like was very recent. And from like the Ironic perspective, the next bug fix branches upstream will be end of May, beginning of June. So I guess we're going to have a new ironic image released after that.
Nice. So that's one bug fix. Okay, that's fine. If there's nothing else, we don't have any discussion topics. I kind of have one. It's kind of an issue I'm facing actually. If there are no other the topics, I made this UEFI change, but the problem is that I cannot test this with the CI because we still have the old UEFI less or legacy BIOS compatible node images in the CI. So by any chance, has any of you managed to test this or had a use case where you were able to run devam with this change?
So unfortunately, I didn't get time to kind of try this out, but I'll definitely try next week probably. So I will reply you in the Slack thread. Or
Yep.
just being like how it goes.
Okay, thanks. That's fine. I will also talk with Sunat or with you, Robin, offline. Maybe that could we start using UEFI in the CI because legacy BIOS is not really realistic. Usually, I don't think there are many downstream organizations who are still using legacy BIOS actively.
Yeah, we could test since the node image build has changed. I think they should maybe support the new ones, but we can double check that.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Then maybe we can discuss quickly the prow bug about the approved workflow. I see Dimitri just posted that he manually merged because of that issue. So how the workflow is intended to work is that when I mean, let's first go over the bug. So the bug is as of today fixed in the prow upstream, but we haven't yet updated the images. And the bug is not in prow itself, but GitHub changed the API, so the conclusions reply now changed to not accept skipped as a pass, which then blocked tide. So this means that when we have the workflow there, and then in the first time you push the PR, it of course doesn't have the OK to test for anyone. For members, it's not needed, and for others, it's needs OK to test. So it doesn't do anything; it's skipped. And if you don't give the OK to test, it will stay in the skipped, which because of the bug then blocks the merge. So the workaround until the prow images are pumped is to put OK to test even if you don't need it, and then change the title via the retitle command, for example, which causes all of the actions to rerun. And in this case, it sees the OK to test label, and then it will succeed instead of skip. And this way you don't need to manually merge, but Tide can do it for you normally.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's worth like announcing it on Slack for other contributors to catch up, because that's really confusing.
Yeah, I mean, it is normally it is if it's like an external contributor or non-member, then you need to give the OK to test, and it's basically no issue. But in our case, most of our PRs are coming from members. So yeah, so it's a bit annoying. But like I said, the actual bug is fixed, but we just haven't bumped the images. The auto bumper should run quite soon, and if not, then we will do it manually. Yeah, but that's why you have been seeing me okay to testing quite a few PRs today.
Yeah, I was a bit confused by that. I mean, I thought you were just debugging something, and yeah, I guess you were. So,
yeah,
okay,
it's just a known workaround to avoid the manual merging. I stopped putting the brow comment after the first 10, so after that it was just the commands. I hope that clarified it for everybody.
it does, yes. If during creation of a PR I put OK to test into the body, will it work?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's kind of a race condition, I guess.
Okay, doesn't matter. We'll figure that out. Thank you for the update.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Is there any other topic that you'd like to discuss before we start the triaging? Okay, if not, then we can just go and do the triaging. So the first that we were actively discussing just now, this is that we should create a tagged image of the IPA downloader, and then we had some discussion under that. Basically, what I think we are converging on is to branch out, create releases as we are doing it for the Ionic image, and then pin the IPA stable branches as basically the IPA version that the downloader would pull. That's basically what we can do. I was wondering that, okay, we have the stable branches, but do we have pre-built IPA from stable branch somewhere, or we have to build it ourselves? It's not a problem if we have to just.
We have for stable branches. We don't have for bug fix branches.
Another branch, I mean builds, like.
Yes, we do have.
Okay.
Branches we have both bug fix and stable, but the builds on Tarbos OpenDev work are only for stable branches and for master.
Yeah, okay.
And I honestly have a small objection to what you proposed, because this way we can actually break things. I'm afraid if we decide to do this, we need to pin IPA to stable, like right now. And when we need more features, we advance it to new stable. So basically, if we test master with main with master, there's a chance we accidentally start depending on new features in APA. So when we branch out and try to pin APA, we get a regression. That's what worries me. So I'm afraid if we decide this, we need to always work on stable APA.
But the reason for this would be that the stable moves so slow, or what?
Yeah, I mean, imagine we keep the situation as it is now, right? I will write a patch that accidentally or on purpose depends on a new IPA feature that was introduced a week ago. Then in 2 weeks, you try to branch out, say, BMO. You create a branch, you try to pin IPA to a stable branch, which was created 3 months ago. And now the feature is broken. So I'm objecting to going backwards in time.
I see.
Because stable releases only happen once in 6 months. So there's a significant delay. It's not like we do with BMO in ironic image where we have a few days of going back and forth, which is fine because we control everything. It's a significant gap.
And if we have the bug fix branches in the IPA, would that help? I mean, this seems like we could maybe transition to building both the stable and the bug fix in Metal3. Would that solve this issue?
I mean, yeah, at least it will make it more similar to ironic, right? For ironic, we use bug fix branches and then we just branch APA at the same time. And then BMO uses the last branched APA, which there's still this risk, but since we try to coordinate our releases around bug fix branches, I think this risk is much smaller. Ricardo, what's your take on this?
Well, yeah, I mean, the conundrum is what you said, like what you mentioned in terms of keeping pace with the new features, and I don't know, like probably we should go slower with these and maybe start pinning only on stable and see if we can coordinate in a different way in the future.
Well, we haven't used new IPA features for some time. The last time it was during the inspection migration, but that is long in the past. I also know that Adam is working on some features in IPA, I believe, too, or like some corrections.
Yeah, new features, and there are ones that I haven't even pushed upstream yet.
Yeah, so imagine you land something to next week in IPA. It will only be available in a stable branch in autumn, late summer. So you won't be able to use it until late summer if you only stick to stable branches.
Yeah.
If I start building bug fix branches, it's much less of a problem. You basically have to wait maybe like 2 months top, but it's probably no brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, if we follow the same model as we're using for the ironic image, then we just need to be very careful to coordinate with the two releases.
Yeah, we already coordinate BMO in ironic, and ironic is going to be coordinated with IPA, so it's more or less naturally everything will be coordinated.
Yeah, I was thinking also upstream, but I think like we already do that in some way, so should be fine, I guess. One more thing that we need to remember is also related to the upper constraints. We need to do this to apply the same trick as we do for the ironic image and pin the upper constraints whenever we also pin like whenever we branch IPA downloader.
Yeah, but that's going to happen on bug fix branch itself, no? Like it should be happening.
No, that does not happen in the bug fix branches because we keep the bug fix branches for a very short time, so it's not worth it. But for the ironic image and the ironic IPA downloader, in this case, we have to because otherwise since we are going to rebuild it in case we have backport for bug fixes or security fixes, then we have to pin the upper constraints.
But what upper constraints you mean in
I mean the OpenStack upper constraints.
Yeah, but in the case of downloader, we don't have Python code.
Well, the IPA downloader, no, we don't, but the Ironic Python agent is Python.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
and it's not pinned on the branch itself.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, good to
It's,
know.
I don't think it's a huge concern. I mean, we have exactly the same situation in Ironic itself.
Yes, exactly. Just
And we've been fine so far.
Okay.
That's a solvable problem. It's a pre-existing problem. It's solvable. We have ways to solve it upstream. We don't actually do it upstream because we don't usually get broken by this. So we usually just too lazy, I guess.
Yeah, I also I built a wrapper. I was editing the constraints with sed, so.
oh
But,
wow.
Been there.
Yeah.
I think the Bifrost still have a few of this written by me. Yeah, somebody just has to write this all down, taking all considerations, discussing alternatives. So it's kind of a like design proposal maybe of its own.
Yeah. So the action point would be to have a proposal that we can discuss in detail, because it involves quite a lot of up and down dependencies.
Yeah, and we have at least 3 things we can do, and we need to decide on one and discuss why we did not decide the other 2.
It's also a question, like design question, that is it, now that I think about it, does it even make sense to tie this to Ironic or IPA itself? Because this is just a few shell scripts that download something. It's I'm getting now second thoughts about my idea that it's fine.
I think I understand what you mean, and the main problem here is that if we are going with tagged images, as I wrote it like in my comment, we will still have everything pointing to master, which, considering that we're releasing the Ironic image every 2 months, and we are almost all the time following with a BMO release, all right, which is pinned to the Ironic image release. Now, in theory, like after 2 months, the master IPA should still work with whatever you have in Ironic. So it's we're kind of safe, in a safe situation, right? Or, well, kind of safe. Of course, if we want to really be like very thorough with the entire release procedure, then it makes sense to have the tag IPA downloader. But in that case, we need to coordinate with everything else we have, which is in this case Ironic and BMO.
Yeah.
We need to decide if it's really worth it or not. That's it.
Exactly. That's what the point I'm reaching also, that is it even worth it to, because
it depends on what you had in mind. Like, what's the final goal? You want to have like a big release, something like hey, this is the Metal3 release version alpha 0.3, and then we have inside BMO, Ironic image, and Ironic IPA downloader all tied together, for example. That could be like one of the reasons, or like there was something else that you were thinking about.
that what you now mentioned is a nice end goal.
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking about the place of this IPA download, that like do we provide this as a tool, or like, what I'm thinking about is, do we even care from open source perspective what this downloads, other than it downloads a default something? Because I'm thinking about like operation perspective, that people who actually use this most likely might even have their own IPA, and they change the target or the URL anyways, or not. So yeah, I'm not sure yet.
I mean, we can definitely think a little bit more about it. I don't think we're in a rush for that, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
works as it is now, so
Yeah.
we are okay. And and absolutely, it makes sense thinking about the fact that people, like by experience, we see that people use their own IPA RAM disk a lot of times. So again, another reason to think if it's really worth doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. I will write something here.
Sure.
Some feedback, but this is kind of not as simple as I first thought it would be. Okay, I won't accept this yet. What would be the requirement for the consensus to accept this? Because like, how are we just, because we would need to decide if it worth it, but if the accepting this as an issue is conditional on that, so problem is that we can't really ask for a proposal before we accept the issue. We were providing images in the past, so
Well, that's a valid request, right? I think we should not expect too much of status trash to accept it. Traging process is more about like, this is a valid request, it's against the right project, the person is explaining themselves correctly. It's not a commitment to definitely implement it the way they are requesting. So that's at least how I see it.
yeah, I can agree with that. Okay. Okay, and then we have how to delete PMH directly. Yeah. I will be honest, I'm not necessarily sure making issues is the best way of asking questions, because this
Yeah, I'm glad this person got involved, but maybe they should more actively come to these meetings and Slack channels. Oh, they're right, we don't have force deletion. Maybe we should. And by the way, heads up, please don't recommend people to delete finalizers. It's just like, it drives me nuts every time I see it. It's a great way to wedge your deployment. Because in this case, an ironic node will be left behind and will do whatever it wants with your server.
yeah,
But yeah.
Maybe the only situation when the finalizer stuff is reasonable when you would nuke the whole cluster anyway and delete like everything, including your ironic. Maybe that's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you understand 100% of its implications and what you're doing, because you do, Adam, and a random person may not. Like in my experience, a lot of people do not.
Yeah, force deletion would be nice feature. Maybe we could ask to change this into a force deletion feature request, and then we could accept this. What do you think?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Can I edit this? We change it to feature. No, it will leave the bug there. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, one BMO controls multiple ironic. What? So this is a bit different from the HA ironic because here the ironics would be separated. So, it would be like a multi-tenant. No. Well, how this sort of relation is called? Like one BMO talks to multiple ironics.
I don't have a fancy name of it. Some people are talking about like a single pane of glass. Some people are talking about like hub clusters, hub spoke architecture.
Yeah, I can see this. I can see this in TACO also, these sort of situations where you don't have enough resources for, or in any edge case, for hosting a control plane, or have very limited, and you don't want to deploy multiple BMOs. I can see this being a very useful thing for many people, many users.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you need to deploy ironics, which is not exactly lightweight. I mean, BMO is more lightweight than ironic.
Yes. It's not necessarily, maybe even it could be network related also. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a possibility for sure, yes.
I mean, it's a feature request. It makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely requires a design proposal.
Was there a Yeah, because even if you have one control plane, you still could have multiple BMOs. You can restrict them to one namespace, and you can pair them with one ironic. So it's a bit.
Yeah, there are definitely alternatives. You could make ironic provision over L3 networks on distances using virtual media. We do that actually.
Yeah, we also do that.
Right.
Okay, well, yeah, but the use case is fine by me. Just this might even require separate CR. I cannot even think anything else. Like how would you group these efficiently if you have only one BMO?
Yeah, some sort of a tagging. It definitely worth putting some thoughts in that.
Yeah. But whoever has the use case will come up with the proposal.
Right.
Error with collecting logs for a machine with test adopted from copy. It's just some test improvements with logging. Yeah, this is for just a tweet test, so I will accept this. Thing major. Okay. I think these are just automatically going to stale. But they shouldn't. This was a bug. Still no, yeah, okay. So on this we didn't have a consensus. This is still kind of hanging in the air. I wonder if I should freeze this. Yeah, I think I should. I mean, we had multiple rounds of going into stale. So I think this is frozen. Still no concerns about that. And I think this is similar. Oh no, this was a question. No, this is different. This can get resolved by closing it automatically. Yes. So no, nothing to do here. Option in CapM3 that can skip the re-image. Yeah, I think this can also go and close itself. I had quite lengthy explanation. Yes. Okay. IPA on bare metal. Yeah, and I also put it into invalid, so that's fine. IPA on bare metal server is unable to reach ironic endpoint. Can caused by anything. Let me see.
People should really file OpenShift bugs against OpenShift, to be honest. Like 4.13 is relatively old. We are looking at old bare metal operator with Red Hat additions. Like, they shouldn't probably file this bug here because people here who are not from Red Hat will have hard time understanding which changes are included or not. Like, feel free to just direct them to issues Red Hat.com and tell them that it's difficult for the upstream community to support OpenShift.
Yeah. Also, I usually whenever I have IPA issues, that's hard to debug just from this many logs anyways. So I would need to see the registration, the addresses. I mean, it's just quite minimal info here. Maybe in the description there are more, but I will then direct them to OpenShift. Or feel free if you have time. I will now skip this one. I won't do anything with this. Yeah, this we discussed. Yeah, this is my approach is always trying to push towards the OCI. I know that would require changes in the ironic, teaching ironic about the OCI convention and IPA also maybe, but mainly ironic. But I still think that that's the way to go in the future when we are working within the Kubernetes ecosystem.
Maybe I mean, yes, probably just need to imagine how it's gonna look.
I've seen projects doing this. I once tested this Kairos project. I also talked with some of their developers. They do it even with full disk images. So they update kernels via OCI images. They just have the kernel packed into the OCI container image and do it. I read at some point I say it like the specifications. You can just use even tar files and whatnot. You don't even have to make a regular container image. So it's doable, and there are projects who do it already. But I know it's kind of a shift from how we just until now just used HTTP endpoints and just download it. So it's a bit more complicated. I agree, but then we would not need to track the kind of the caching related metadata and location, anything. It would be just put into the closest OCI registry, whatever we point it to, and then all the storage is handled. I would like to offload this kind of tracking of where and what cache, honestly.
Yeah, I know, I haven't put many thoughts in this proposal recently, so probably need to really come back to it at some point.
Yeah, I will most likely not, like I probably won't write like a detailed counter proposal in the coming few months. I'm also quite swamped with either downstream stuff or upstreaming the result of my downstream work for IPA and others. So I don't know, but yeah, if I have time, I will discuss this. I'm accepting it. I would be okay with accepting it because we all agree that we should be able to cache it. We should have some place where we store it. We just don't agree where it should be and how. So
Yeah, maybe accept with like needs a design proposal, because we should really start doing design proposals for
yeah,
the operator. Meanwhile, I'm looking at this OpenShift bug, and that's actually even more puzzling that I think, because they have OpenShift, but they use upstream components on top of it. I will respond something anyway, but it's really like a confusing bug.
yes. Okay, and then what do we have? Yeah, that was that one, and then applying BM, it should be part of the test setup. Oof. That I say, man. Yeah, that one was a mess. I agree. Okay. Ah, I see. Yeah. Eh. I'm not necessarily okay with this because when I work with IPA or Ironic and I want to test just the PMO Ironic IPA workflow without the MetaCube, I actually like that we applied by default, and then it goes into basically this inspection state, or maybe not even that. I don't remember. Yeah, not even inspection. But then I have it, and I can just trigger the inspection. I'm willing to accept it, but with a caveat. I think the provision profiling was discussed last time. I have to answer here. Yeah. When I have some time. I don't at the moment. Okay, I think that was all when it comes to triage, except let's check the stale quickly. Because we might have something in stale. I don't remember. I have to check this. If everything was moved or not. Yeah, I might have, it might not. Not that urgent. Yeah, we check this, we check this. Yeah, this can close itself. Yeah, we have the issues and then we had the KubeCon. I will even close this. Yeah. Good. That's all. Okay, sorry, we spent a bit more time than I planned, but managed to triage quite a lot of things. Is there anything else that we should discuss? No? Okay, then thank you for your time and the comments. I think we had a good discussion today and let's meet next week and let's hope we will have other interesting topics. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.